Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Fan Experience Podcast. As always, I am your host, Mike Katos. Alongside me is my co-host, Rick Molina. How are we doing tonight, Rick?
Mike, everybody doing well. It's the Tuesday before Thanksgiving. You know, you start to smell it a little bit. The turkeys are being made. You know, the gravy, the stuffing, things are starting to percolate. Things are getting ready to go. We got some good football on Thursday night, so I'm excited, man. I'm ready to get this show on the road.
Will we have football on Thursday night? I was hearing rumblings about COVID issues over there in the Ravens locker room.
Yeah, no, I think. Well, listen, we have three.
We're gonna have the day games.
Yes,
it's the night game that may be in question, but I think they're gonna play it. But yeah, three games on Thursday. You know, and that's what I look forward to on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the food is secondary to me. I mean,
I'm with you on that one.
Okay, you know, so we're all in sync there. I kind of want to, eat my food during the snooze fest, which will be the Cowboys and the Washington football team.
Yeah.
But while we are on the topic of the Washington football team, I mean, thank God this game is being played in Dallas. Am I right? Because anytime somebody steps foot at FedEx, is it still called FedEx Field?
It's FedEx Field, yeah. It's FedEx Field.
Little ironic, but yeah, anytime somebody steps foot on FedEx Field, there's a chance that quarterback of that team will break a leg. You know, I mean that old idiom, break a leg and the good luck.
Literally.
Yeah, unfortunately, they must say it too much because Joe Theismann broke his leg on that field. Alex Smith, obviously, with the horrendous leg injury a few years ago. Kyle Allen just a few weeks ago. And now the clear one of the top rookie of the year candidates, Joe Burrow of the Cincinnati Bengals, playing great, and a gruesome injury. He could miss 9 to 12 months. It could be longer. There was MCL, ACL, dislocated kneecap. It was a brutal injury. So prayers go out to Mr. Joe Burrow, of course. Hoping for a speedy recovery and a healthy one. But I just what is it with the field? I mean, is it just too bad juju? Like, too many years of being called the Redskins, and like, is juju just catching up to them? Like, what's going on over there?
Good evening, everybody, and thanks for tuning in. I don't know. Let's not forget RG3's career pretty much ended on that field. Remember, with that big hit by I think it was Haloti Ngata against the Ravens that blew up his knee, and he got hurt on that field. So I don't know what it is about that field. I don't know what it is about Washington as a whole, that guys are snapping legs over there. But the manner of these injuries are pretty gruesome. I mean, Theismann broke his leg, bone popping out. Alex Smith, same thing. Kyle Allen. I mean, these freak injuries that are happening. And it's sad for Burrow, right? Because he was Rookie of the Year candidate. Him and Justin Herbert going toe-to-toe there. He's having a great season. You can clearly tell he's the leader there. He's the alpha male. And then for him to get a horrific injury like that. And I think they're being a little discreet about his injury. They're saying ACL, MCL. I think it's probably worse. There's probably a patella tendon gone over there. I mean, his just knee popped out. It was horrific. But yeah, I mean, it's just, when will it end? These injuries in FedEx Field. And for the Bengals, it really goes to show that they need to start investing in an offensive line. I mean, he's going to come back, whether it's next year, it might be, maybe the year after, who knows?
Yeah.
They need to.
2021 is in question.
Yeah, because that was just so horrific that they need to invest in an offensive line. Like, get him a left tackle who can protect them, get him some interior help in that line to protect them, and invest the money moving forward. So we'll wait and see. But it's sad to see that one of the top young quarterbacks in the National Football League just gets hurt and blows his knee out like that. So like you said, our prayers go out to him, and we wish him nothing but the best, and hopefully he gets back on the field soon.
Yeah, I mean, that's like you said, prayers goes out to him. All right, so I mean, let's talk about one of the better games in on Sunday. And that was, the reigning Super Bowl champions, going in for that, to avoid the sweep from the Las Vegas Raiders. And boy, was it not easy.
No.
And I was sitting there sweating the entire time, like it was the Super Bowl, and I was rooting for the Chiefs because I'm sitting there in my survivor pool and just trying to survive there, and it was just back and forth and back and forth. I it was not fun. It was a not fun game to watch until at least he threw in that touchdown to Travis Kelce there. But it was the Raiders are for real, man.
They are for real.
The Raiders are for real, but the Kansas City Chiefs defense is just it's horrendous. I mean, they were just letting them run down the field every single drive. I mean, it could be a testament to the Raiders offense too, but I think, it was both sides there.
Well, I think you got to give credit to Gruden what he's done in 3 years there. I mean, he's made Derek Carr an elite quarterback. I mean, the guy has got that it factor. He's throwing the ball all over the field. He's rebuilt that team. Remember, they were saying, how could you trade Khalil Mack? What are you doing? Picked up Josh Jacobs, a couple of draft picks. They rebuilt that defense. They rebuilt the offense and the way they go. And the Raiders are going to be a tough out, and they get in the playoffs. I wouldn't want to play them. The way they're able to run the ball, the way Derek Carr's playing, I wouldn't want to go near them. And if you're Kansas City, I mean, look, it almost seems like it's a hangover year. It almost seems like they're kind of going through the motions a little bit. Mahomes is Mahomes, obviously, and Kelce and all that, but they're 9, but it's amazing with the year that they're having. They're 9-1, they're 5-0 on the road, and you're saying to yourself, "Oh, Kansas City, they're sort of, they just look like they're they're having these tight wins or what have you." But you look up at the record and they're like 9-0, they're 9-1. I mean, it's incredible. So, but that was a great game, and obviously Patrick Mahomes rolling out and hitting Kelce wide open in the end zone to win that game, just incredible. And the meme of Derek Carr on the sideline.
With the guy from The Incredibles, right?
Yeah, with the guy from The Incredibles looking just like he was having an out-of-body experience there. Was incredible. But I think
right?
Yeah, exactly. But the AFC West is shaping up well, man. I mean, with the Raiders and the Chiefs playing well out there. Obviously, the Broncos are pretty putrid out there. And I'm forgetting the other team out there in the AFC. Oh, and then the Chargers coming along, with Justin Herbert. I mean, you got that division.
I mean, Rookie of the Year is his.
Rookie of the Year is his. And he's probably going to be Mahomes again. But I mean, think about that for a second. Those 3 quarterbacks in that division is going to be incredible. As time goes on. So I can't wait and see it. But yeah, the Raiders are not a joke, man. They're for real, and I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs.
No, and they have to make the playoffs, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
They have the easiest part of their schedule coming up, and the Chiefs don't have a cakewalk. I mean, they got Tampa Bay, but we'll get more into Tampa Bay after our interview.
We'll talk about that later. There's a lot to discuss there later.
Yeah. The TB,
the
Tom Brady. I mean, his workout regimen might not be working out. But I mean, Antonio Brown is. Let's talk about that afterwards. Let's not get into that. But the Chiefs have, Tampa Bay. They have to go into Miami. They have to go into New Orleans. It's not so much of a cakewalk.
No, I agree. But here's the other thing, right? Miami just benched Tua this week, so you have that going on. New Orleans.
He also got hurt. And they didn't rush him back. Yes.
Okay.
He got hurt, but they didn't rush him back.
Right, and then you also have. Then the week after that, they're at New Orleans, and Drew Brees with 11 broken ribs, a punctured lung. I mean, you got Tatum Hill quarterback.
Yeah, with Drew Brees out, it makes it a lot easier for the Chiefs. Granted.
So I mean, but listen, I could see them losing.
It's still, it's still tough go of it.
Yeah. I mean, listen, if they go 14-2, what more can you ask for?
I mean, the Raiders have to play the Jets still.
Yeah. And
actually, Kansas City might have the Jets too then.
Yeah. No, do they? No, they already beat the Jets.
They did. Okay.
They did.
That's right.
Mahomes threw for 416.
I don't know. I can't keep track of these losses.
Yeah. Well, I can.
I can't keep track.
I can.
All right. So right now we're going to be is our guest ready backstage? Thumbs up if we're ready. All right. And right now we're bringing on our next guest. He played a few years over in the NFL as a linebacker. He played for the Arizona Cardinals and the San Diego Chargers. Please welcome Reggie Walker.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Reggie, how are you?
How we doing?
I'm good, man. I'm real good. How are you?
Doing well, man.
Doing
Thanks
great.
for coming on.
We appreciate you coming on.
Glad to be here.
Awesome. All right. So, we usually start off, every guest with the question, like, where their love for, the game of, just the love of sports started, before playing, just, really just watching it, and then how you got really involved in it.
I started watching the football when I was 5, and it was honestly one of my memories. I remember my dad, he put it on TV, and I remember looking at it, and I just turned around. I was like, "What is this?" And he was like, "Dude, it's football, man." And and then he was like, "Dude, you could do that too, man, one day." And I was like, "Those are humans?" And it was one of those things that I immediately just gravitated to. I loved it. I always loved the game.
Awesome. Who did you grow up rooting for?
I wouldn't say I had a favorite team. I had players, but my favorite player growing up was Randy Moss.
All right.
Even though I never wanted to be a receiver, I just loved him. I loved his swagger. I loved his confidence. I loved how he would just embarrass guys. And it was like, he was just phenomenal. I loved watching him play.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, no, I was saying Randy was incredible. I mean, he was just a freak of nature. But Reggie, when did you know, at what age did you realize, hey, I'm pretty good at, like, I'm better than most of these guys. I know I could take it to another level. Like, when did you realize you had a special gift that others didn't have?
When I was 5. Because my parents signed me up for flag football, and I was a beast. I was a running back. All I remember from playing flag was just scoring every time I touched the ball. And I was so good, as a matter of fact, they were talking about me on the radio out in Boonville, Missouri, before I moved out to California. And yeah, I was excited about that, especially when you're such a young kid. You're like, man, I'm on a freaking radio.
Yeah.
I think then was probably what I knew.
So you obviously then you were a star in high school, obviously. But when you went to college, was Kansas State the school you wanted to go to? I mean, was there other opportunities to go somewhere else and different opportunities for different schools, or was that where you sort of like settled in right there?
Okay, so I'm glad you asked me that, because I was an avid football fan. I was an avid sports fan. I used to make like NCAA brackets of which school I was going to go to.
Okay.
And in Missouri, I used to watch Kansas State, and watching Chris Canny and all those guys, and I used to love it with the back flaps out. I used to love that. But the biggest reason I went to K-State was because it was the farthest school away from home that recruited me. And I was a little bit of a rebel in high school. And I was just like, man, I'm freaking out of here. And, it was stupid because, I loved it. But the decision wasn't the smartest, because as soon as I got out there, maybe a month after being out there, my parents and I kind of like started having a better relationship, even though it wasn't even bad in the first place.
Yeah.
And I was stuck out in Kansas. California kid, I stuck out in Kansas, but I'm glad I stuck it out because I had some great experiences in college.
Awesome. So you say you wanted to go far away from home, but you grew up. Your family was in the military, correct? You moved around a lot from your TED. I watched the TED talk. It said that you moved around a lot. So what was like the most that you stayed in like one place?
Probably Boonville, Missouri. Boonville, Missouri is like in the exact center of Missouri. I was there from kindergarten to seventh grade, sixth grade. Yeah, something like that. I was there for probably the longest. I was there longer than I was in California, actually, even though I tell everyone I'm from California. A fake dude.
So I wanna go back to the TED Talk in a little bit, but let's talk about when you were coming out of Kansas State and you signed with the Cardinals out of college, correct?
Mhm.
And what was that experience like?
Oh, it was crazy. It was crazy because they had just went to the Super Bowl and lost, and I was rooting for them. So when I got picked up by them, I was super excited. And you don't know what to expect going in an NFL locker room. And when I walked in, I remember looking to my left, and the first person I saw was Darnell Dockett. And he was about 6'4", like 300 pounds, all muscle. He was a huge dude, fully tatted, like neck down, like. And he was at the time, he was a very intimidating guy. And I remember his look, the look that he gave me, like. Can I cuss on this podcast? Or
Yeah, of course.
Go
Yeah.
for
Okay,
it.
Go
Yeah,
for it.
all
okay,
good.
Because I'm gonna do that. He kind of looked at me like, dude, you ain't shit. Like, get your ass out of here. Like, don't even look at me. Like, don't even look at me.
Wow.
And I remember, like, I'm not gonna even look at this dude. And the second person I saw was Larry Fitzgerald. And then I remember my first thought was, dang, this guy is huge. Like, man, are all the receivers this big? Like, dang, I gotta put the weight on. And it was crazy because I was undrafted. I never started more than half a season in college. And to just be put in that situation in the first place, I thought was a huge blessing. And then going through that camp, I feel as if when I first got in there, everyone automatically thought I was a bum because I guess I'm kind of weird, and I don't know, I have a weird personality in the locker room, I guess. And when I went out there, I was like, dude, I'm just gonna do what I do and bust some faces. And when I went out there at first camp, that's what I did, and I gained everyone's respect. So I loved how it was because I kind of felt like I was an underdog, and then by the end of it, everybody knew who I was.
Awesome. Well, were you there for their Super Bowl year?
I was there the year right after. That
The
was
year
my
right
first
after.
year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Sorry, I was gonna say. So, what was it? So, you talk about walking in the locker room after they lost the Super Bowl. Tell us what the aura was, the vibe. Was there anger? Was there disappointment? I mean, were guys like sort of in a haze? Like, what was that like coming in after they lost to the Steelers that year? That was the San Antonio Holmes, right, where he caught it in the end zone.
Mhm.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
that game.
Yeah.
Well, I came in the April. I think it was April
Yeah.
after all that had happened. And walking into the locker room, everyone was pretty much on the same thing. Like, we're gonna go back to the Super Bowl. We have a great team. We're gonna make a run at it. We're not gonna catch people off guard now. So it was a very focused environment and very focused team at the time, and there's a lot of players on that team, lots of talent.
Yeah. You had Kurt Warner and Larry Fitzgerald,
Yeah.
and
Carlos Dansby and Antrell
yeah,
Roll and Darby Rogers
Kenny Wisenhunt.
Cromartie,
Ken Wisenhunt was the coach at that time,
and Anquan Bolden was there, and
right?
probably like one of
Yeah.
my all-time favorite players. Anquan Bolden
Yes.
was there. And then
So you were. No, I was gonna say. So you were talking about how they started learning your respect. When did the guys start coming up to you and be like, "Hey, you started like saying, hey, like you're gonna be on this team, you're gonna be part of us." Like, during the course of the training camp, when did that start happening?
I would say in the preseason games because
Okay.
I melted so many guys. So many.
That's great. That's awesome, man.
So many. It wasn't until the second game because I think we played Green Bay, and they had Craig Lumpkin, and I remember seeing him when he was at Georgia running through cats, and I was just like, it's gonna be him or me, and it's definitely not gonna be me.
Yeah.
I remember I melted him on a 3rd and 1, and thinking, oh my god, Like, this is freaking Greg Lumpkin. I think throughout my career, I still was starstruck by people, because I was such an avid football fan. I watched everybody, and I had a lot of admiration for everybody. But at the same time, I felt like I was like an adventurer slaying monsters, and I was like, I love this guy, but I want to knock his face off too. At least see if I could.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, obviously a year after the Super Bowl, they had a great defense, and going into a nice little cohesive defensive unit, and also they had a hell of a team. I honestly think they should have won that Super Bowl the year before, but obviously it was that that miracle catch in the corner of the end zone. So tell us about playing defense in the NFL. Like, obviously there's some great quarterbacks, great running backs. Like, who did you have, I guess, the most satisfaction, taking down?
That's a tough. Because I got so much satisfaction from so many people down. I really savored it. Well, I guess my first sack. I sacked Jake Locker. Not that I had anything against him, but it was just my first sack, and it was just a really big moment. That sticks out. I hit Marshawn Lynch a couple times.
All right.
And he didn't remember. And I actually gave it to him. And I think and I gave it to Russell Wilson a couple times too. I don't know. No. Yes. So I got a story. If I got time.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
So I was on special teams. We were playing the Packers. They had a tight end guy who I don't even know his name, but he was just talking shit the whole game. He ends up blindsiding one of our guys and takes him out, gives him a concussion. And he's talking stuff the whole time. And he was lined up over me on punt. And I said, hey, man, like, just so you know, I don't appreciate that shit. Next time we line up, I know you're or whichever side you're on, that's where the ball's going, and I gotta block you. So the next time you're out there, I'm gonna knock you out. And sure
Just
enough,
say it. We're good.
Yeah. Let it rip, man. Go ahead, say it.
Yeah, sure enough, the very next kickoff, he runs down, and I hit him right in his chest and break his sternum. And I leveled him. And it was like, because kickoff return was my thing. A lot of guys don't like special teams, but I loved it. And kickoff return was my thing because I loved how a guy's running full speed and you're kind of backpedaling and you don't really have any momentum to hit him. But I knew angles. So I knew how to really like stroke somebody from a back pedal. And I hit him right in his chest, broke his sternum, and then I just like hit him with like a right cross. And then after that game, he was very quiet. I don't know his name, but he was very quiet the rest of that game. And then the rest of the guys, they were just like, dude, I don't want any of that. Like, chill out, bro. Like, chill out. Like, it was one of those, like when you make a grown man tap out, it's one of the best feelings. One of the best. That's the only thing I probably miss about football. Oh, and probably just like getting in a jersey and all that. But that's probably one of the things I only miss about football is tapping people out.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I mean, so you spent a couple of years over there with the Cardinals, and then you went to the formerly known as the San Diego Chargers, and now my adopted team, the Los Angeles Chargers, right now, because I'm a Jets fan and I've given up on the 2020 season for the Jets.
Yeah, that sucks for you, man.
Well, Rick's a Jets fan too, so it's it's brutal, but I'm loving. I've always had a soft spot for the Chargers, and and Justin Herbert's just doing amazing things right now. But talk to us about your stay over there in San Diego. how it was playing over there.
Oh, it's phenomenal. San Diego is one of my favorite places in the entire world to be. And then the fact that I got to play on a football team there with a lot of history, it was an amazing experience. Plus, that's where I played the most too, and they
Yeah.
gave me a chance, and I will always be thankful for them for giving me a shot. Because my situation in Arizona, I decided to leave, and they picked me up in 2 days. So I was just, it was a huge blessing. Plus, too, you're playing football by the beach and lots of
Yeah.
beautiful people around there, and it was great.
That's incredible. Reggie, I want to get to your TED talk because I saw it twice,
Hmm.
and I thought it was incredible, and a lot of things stuck out with me. But one of the things that I first stuck out to me was you were saying that the most important mentor is yourself. But was there anybody other than yourself? Was there anybody as you were growing up playing football and maturing as a young man? Was there anybody that was there, like a coach or somebody there to sort of mentor you or guide you along the way?
Kind of.
Okay.
Yeah. Like my high school coach, Carl Reed, he
Hmm.
was a really solid mentor. He was a really solid person. He really educated me. Well, what he did was the biggest way how he educated me was he really taught me in a real subtle way how college was going to be,
Hmm.
without telling me. He did a lot of stuff. He really was really hard on me, and I couldn't figure out why. And then when I got to college, I understood why, because he saw that I could play, and he knew I
Hmm.
needed to be tough and I needed to be mentally tough. He really took me off to the side, and I was really grateful for him. And then my parents. But when you grow up in the hood, there's not really a lot of
Yeah.
positive examples of what to be and how to do things. So you really learn by what not to do instead of what to do. You got to kind of figure out what to do.
Yeah, and
Mhm.
the other thing I guess was finding your purpose, right? So you've played professional football, you're a speaker. Have you found your purpose? Like, I mean, football is part of your life, but have you found what you really want to do, or is that something you're still looking for out there?
Oh no, I found it.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had to really realize that, because I've never really, even though I love football, and
Hmm.
it was you know like a wife almost. I loved it.
Yeah.
But I never really considered myself a football player. I just always considered myself a guy who played football.
Right.
I've always had a lot of interest in a lot of different things, and what I had to really realize was, like, man, I'm an explorer. Like, I felt like if I was living in 19 like not year 900 AD, I'd probably be exploring right now. I'd be that guy. I'd probably be climbing a mountain. And at this point, that's what I really do, is I just pursue all those things. I have a lot of entrepreneurial pursuits because I love business. I feel
Yeah.
like the skill set from football really transferred over well. Um, and then I do my advocacy work for mental, physical, sexual abuse
Yep.
survivors and their families. But right now it's just, and then I think at some point I'm gonna end up picking up acting, and I'm
Wow.
supposed to have a TV show in December, but I
Oh,
still got to get
Nice.
everything scheduled. um but right now I'm just, I love stretching myself, and that's what I do. Is I want to see while I'm here what I can and can't do.
That's incredible. That's awesome.
yeah. So let's touch on the TED Talk a little bit. So obviously it's a, like you mentioned, you're an advocate for physical, mental, and sexual abuse, and you also got into football to to really let out rage, and you said you like hitting people, so you
Yeah.
know just talk to us, share as much as you can, and because it could help somebody that's out there.
I think the biggest reason why I did the TED Talk in the first place was, you really hear that message that if you want to succeed, you need to find a mentor. Well, when I was growing up, I was always looking for that person, and I could never find them. And then, so instead of like, even though I was still searching the whole time, um, instead of actually finding that, I just built myself up. And you know, there was a lot of people that really doubted me, and I felt as if I was really alone a lot of the times when I was trying to figure things out. And so in order for me to really figure things out, I fall on my face 1,000 times and then pick myself up.
Yeah.
And through that whole journey of falling on my face all the time, I figured it out, and I really made myself piece by piece, because what I really learned was, especially growing up in the hood, you're not going to really have a lot of good examples, but you can take pieces from people. Like, I want to be nice like that person. I want to be strong like that person. I want to be brave like this person. And you can really cultivate all these different qualities of other people. And I took what I wanted from people like a thief, and
Yeah.
I made myself that way. Because if I was gonna, if I was gonna sit there and wait for that mentor to come, I probably would still be waiting. And that was a situation that a lot of kids just like me would go through. And I wanted to really put that talk out there, and put my message out there to let them know that you can do it, and you don't absolutely need one. It helps, but if you can't find one, you need to make yourself one. And yeah, that was really the whole point of it.
Awesome. I posted it up there. It's in the comments, everybody, if anyone wants to check it out. Okay, perfect. So I saw, after you got out of the game, you went back to Kansas State, correct?
No. Well,
as a student,
I went back to Kansas City.
Kansas City. Oh, okay, so you didn't go back to school. I saw.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, I did go back and finish my degree, and I'm in grad school now. And I know I should be excited about it, but school really blows. It super blows. I feel like this is the part where you're supposed to be like, yeah, school, woo. But no,
I'm with you. Hey, I'm with you, man. I'm over it. Yeah.
I mean, it's like a necessary evil, I feel.
Learning is great.
Yes.
School, I mean, it's a story, it's 50-50 there. Yeah, it really depends. It really depends on, colleges, obviously, they teach you things that you're really not interested in, and you have the stuff that you are. So learning is definitely great. It's just some things are just unnecessary, and you don't want to be there for it.
Yeah.
That's my personal feeling.
Yeah. And it's 2020. A lot of stuff you can just, pick up your iPad or your phone and figure it out. If you're, resilient, I guess, enough, you can learn pretty much anything now. And then you don't have to do it in a classroom for an hour and a half, 2 hours. And
pay $200,000.
Yeah. And so 2020 though is like the year of, just, people can, sit there and learn anything this year. I mean, it was always, it was always like that, but now it's just, it's on super drive, everything is there.
Oh yeah, it's crazy. And then with all these freaking Zooms and, I feel like people have, how before all this happened, how people were kind of doing one of these. Yeah. And then now with the COVID, everyone wants to do one of these. Yeah. And then now we've been doing everything through Zoom. I just can't wait for this stuff to just pop out, because I think you're going to see people actually start talking to their neighbors again, like they used to be. And, because this is crazy, bro. This is crazy. But I'm glad, but if it wasn't for that, I don't know if I could have gotten on the show, which I'm super glad to be on. So
yeah, and we're glad.
I mean, the quarantine definitely helped us get the show started. Yeah, but we are, of course, we were happy to have you on, and glad that you were able to come on, for sure. And yeah, I mean, the quarantine's pushed us to do a lot of different things. I mean, it's helped me get my app, in beta and off the ground a little bit. We're making, I don't know if I told you, but, I'm making an app called Playing the Field, and it's a sports fan community / dating app to help people connect with their fellow sports fans over their love of sports for friendship or for relationships.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's why I was wondering why that question for the thing that you sent me was in there, as far as this, like, have I bonded with a significant other,
Yeah.
over sports? I thought that was very interesting.
Yeah.
Especially,
Yeah.
and that's a very interesting concept for the app too, because, man, you can really form a great bond with sports, and, from a guy's perspective, I don't know how many women are listening, but if you are a sports fan, it does help. It does help. In my situation, like my wife, full disclosure, we don't watch a ton of football, and I feel
Okay.
like the only football I ever watch, and some people are gonna be mad to hear this, but we only people we really watch right now is probably, like, I watch Cam Newton play. And
Yeah.
it's not, I know he's not the best quarterback in the league and all of that, but I just love the confidence. And I just want him to win, especially after the situation in Carolina, how that went down. I felt he kind of got a bad deal. And, I just really like underdogs. So I will sit there and turn in and see those types of situations play out. But, dude, uh, most of the girlfriends I've had have not been sports fans, and if they were sports fans, it's been kind of weird. But but I could understand too how it could be a really great thing, because I got buddies whose girlfriends are like, man, they know everything about everything. Want to play fantasy with us, and it's cool, man. It's really cool. Especially the game too. That's even better. Playing video games too. That's awesome too. Yeah.
It's a whole different world. I feel, it's a, you just get each other a little bit deeper. You can have deeper connections because you understand, what Sundays mean, and you understand, what baseball, can do to a person, or, or video games. So it's like, that's why I wanted to get it off the ground and get it started for people out there, and not even just for relationships, just for people, to sit there and, form a softball league, or, a flag football game, or pick up basketball games and things of that nature as well. We just, anything social, that's really what the app is about.
Yeah, that's cool. And it's cool.
mission.
It is so attractive too. It is very attractive. Like, I remember with my wife when we watched the Super Bowl last year, just seeing how angry she was getting, and, because we are in Kansas City, and
okay,
hates the Chiefs.
Wow. Okay.
Wow.
Like, very passionately. I probably shouldn't say that because we live here, but she passionately hates the Chiefs. I don't. It's not. I'm whatever on it, but just seeing when she watched that game and seeing how angry she got, it's very attractive. I really dug it. So I'm really digging the app, and I really want to see where it goes too.
Yeah. The mission statement for the app is through sports uniting people, right? It's creating a sports community, uniting people. I mean, we're so divided right now that sports is the one thing that, regardless of race, creed, color, whatever, it's the one thing that unites people and brings together as one. So that's like the mission of the app. So, and like I said, whether it's through dating and all that stuff. So that's our goal. But I wanted to ask you, through your advocacy, have you had like other players reach out to you and say, hey, I'm glad you spoke. I've had these experiences. I'd love to participate with you. I mean, have you had people reach out to you with their stories or whatever?
Yeah, I do have people that reach out. And I always make myself available. Because one of my big goals with the advocacy work is to just create spaces for people heal from it. Because one of the biggest things I understood when I started talking about it was how much this really affects people. And it's a lot more people than you think. But the people that but a lot of people who really reach out to me are a lot of people who really don't, they do it, and not in disguise. They like from secret accounts because I can tell they
Right.
don't really want people to know.
Mhm.
And a lot of people from a lot of people from the Middle East reach out to me.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of people from the Middle East. It's a lot of people from a lot of around the world reach out, and it's random, but at the same time, like just like I'm saying here now, I'm here to talk, and I want them to talk to me. I'm not going to judge anyone. I understand how it is living with it, and that's one of my main goals is to help as many people as I can. And if I can help people one by one, then so be it.
Nice. Yeah. And so where do you see your advocacy going? Are you going to start a non-for-profit? Are you're expanding? I mean, how big are you trying to make this and take it?
That's a really good question. Right now, I don't know if I'm going to start a nonprofit right now, because I work with 1 in 6.
Okay.
I work with 1in6.org, and they do a lot of it, and I do stuff through them.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as the advocacy work goes, I just go where it takes me. I just go
Fair
where
enough.
it takes me, wherever I can go to help. And then I'm gonna keep doing it until the day I die. Because I know that there's a lot of people that this affects. So.
Awesome. So if somebody wants to reach out, so they can go visit 1in6. What is it? 1in6.org.
Yeah.
And then
1in6.org.
what's the best way to get a hold of you?
I would say the absolute best way of reaching out to me would be through LinkedIn. That's the site I check the most. That's the social media platform that I love the most. It's the least toxic of all social media sites.
Yes.
Because
Agreed.
people know that their boss or whatever's on there and they can't say all this crazy stuff and do crazy things. So I really appreciate that. But probably LinkedIn.
Okay.
That'd probably be the best way. And if you send me a private message, I always respond back.
Yeah, I mean, me and you connected on LinkedIn, so I appreciate.
I responded back like what 10
right away.
10 minutes. Yeah, I got the notification.
Actually, I think you requested me. I think, and then I sent you. Yeah, there we go. But yeah, I mean, LinkedIn. It's been crazy. The last year, obviously, with what's been going on. Just connecting with a lot of people, and through that, getting a bunch of amazing guests on this show, and hearing all of their stories, and it's been great to to connect with all these people, and have give them a platform to tell all their stories, and the people that you sometimes probably wouldn't even get a hold of because they're out and about, business meetings, business trips, and but now everyone's at home, so it's a whole new world. I mean, it really is crazy what's going on. I do want to ask you though, like, because obviously I know you play for the Cardinals and the Chargers. Do you have any kind of do you watch them? Have you been watching Kyler and Herbert ball out this year?
Yeah, man, Kyler's a beast. He's a beast. I love these new quarterbacks, these young guys.
Yeah.
I love them. I love watching.
Could you catch up with them? Could you catch up with them to get them?
If I got him, he ain't getting up.
Well said.
No, I love watching these guys play. Who is it, man? I love watching Kyler play, and I'm excited to see them. Not just this year, but like 2 years from now, where they're going to become. Especially Herbert. I didn't think Herbert was going to be this good this early.
Yeah.
Of all the quarterbacks, I didn't think he was going to be this good this early. But he's a beast. Oh, he's a beast. And it's great to watch. But I still watch him. I still watch the Cardinals, still watch the Chargers, still check the Broncos out from time to time, but I very rarely watch a whole game. I don't have the attention span for it anymore. Like like all the film that you have to watch for years and years and years. Like I just can't even do it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean that certainly makes sense. Talk to us about, obviously with COVID, the entire sports landscape has changed, and I know obviously that those crowds, cheering and everything for the defense, probably get you pumped up. Like, what do you think, how do you think defenses are doing right now with like barely any noise in some stadiums, or that fake noise? What do you think that does to them mentally?
To be honest, probably nothing.
All right.
There you go. All right. So it's all a
like,
myth. All this whole field stuff, it's all a myth. Yeah.
Like, you know how like in a basketball game when someone shoots a free throw and the fans are going crazy and people think that really affects the guy shooting free throws.
Yeah.
You've done it so often that when you step out on the field, it's just like riding a bike. You're so good at just locking into what you have to do that you don't really pay attention to the fans in the first place. So, I don't think it does anything. I just feels like, plus two, when you have that little bit of fear from knowing that if I don't perform, I'm going to be up out of here. Always trailing you. I don't think it's really affected them that much.
All right.
Plus two, but the fans though, you got to understand these guys went through college football and people screaming. Yeah. Eventually, you just don't even hear it anymore.
Okay. Wow, I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, I remember like it gets bad. You get so used to it to the point that I think when I got into my third year, I just wasn't even excited anymore. Like, it's just like, whatever, bro. Like, I'm just going to go out this game and knock some guys out, and then I'm going to eat a garlic shrimp burrito, afterwards, like, whatever. It becomes like anything else.
That's incredible. So, Reggie, awesome. You played with Kurt Warner. You played with Phillip Rivers. You were there for Peyton Manning. Greatest quarterback you played with and the greatest you played against?
Who? Easily the best quarterback I played against was Aaron Rodgers.
Wow.
Easily.
Okay.
Easily.
He's that good.
He's incredible. Okay. It was the throws, because it's incredible on TV, but when you see it in person, and he's fast too. Shocker. This guy can run. I don't know how, but he's been playing some, but he can run. But some of the throws you would see him make, I mean, there's no way you can even defend against them. And he was so good at doing that over and over and over again. He was incredible. Best quarterback I played with, it's tough because, I feel like the world will come down on me if I don't say Peyton Manning.
Okay.
But real talk, Phillip Rivers.
Yeah. Really? Okay.
Because he was one of those guys that has such a bad rap. And I thought before when I was in Arizona that this guy's a baby, he has a horrible attitude, he's a pussy or whatever. But when you play with him, the most competitive guy. He was like who's the best way of putting it? I wanted to say like Baker Mayfield in college. But no, he's just the most competitive guy. He's a quarterback that defenses want to play for. I remember he lined up one play and something happened. He started running. This guy runs every bit of like a 5.7 40. And he ran and slid. And then the DB comes up to him and starts talking shit. And he gets up and he starts talking right back to him. But he takes it up a notch. He goes up to the line of scrimmage, play 22, I'm throwing right at you. And he's like, all right, throw it. And he threw it at this guy 5 straight times. Completed it 5. And you're just seeing this on the field. You're just seeing this on the defense. Let's go. And he's awesome. Just the most competitive guy. And it looks like he's whining, but he's really like, he's just like competitive.
Yeah.
Plus he's he's incredibly smart. Oh my God. The hours he puts in, you wouldn't even, it's hard to even explain his knowledge of the game. This guy literally this guy literally be a quarterback in the NFL.
Wow.
I feel like he's been training since birth. Like they're probably giving him milk in his hand, buttermilk.
Yeah. Speaking of since birth, like he's trying to formulate his own football team over there.
Oh,
he's got how
yeah.
many kids
9,
does he
right?
have?
He has 9.
9?
Right?
He got about 15 over there. I don't know.
Oh man, that's great.
He's got a lot, but and I would guarantee one of those kids is going to be a beast. One of them is going to go to the league, especially having him as a dad. Oh yeah, I'm sure he's going to push it too. Yeah,
no, I'm sure we'll see at least one. But speaking of kids, obviously, you have a beautiful family, and you have another one on the way, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm gonna have my first son actually in February.
Oh, congratulations!
Very nice. Congratulations.
Yeah, so right in time for the Super Bowl. You can just sit there, watch it with you guys, and everything.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to pop out actually February 2nd. So I'm kind of like, all right, let's have us a little Super Bowl, baby. And
there you go.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm still kind of figuring out whether or not I want to push football or not. But if he's anything like me, then I probably couldn't, hold it back from him if I tried.
Yeah, well, I know you don't really watch too much football, but what's your Super Bowl preview? What's your Super Bowl prediction?
It pains me to say this, but I think it's going to be Pittsburgh, and no, I think it's going to be Pittsburgh, and I don't know. I don't know who. Probably I will go New Orleans.
Wow.
And the reason why I'm saying New Orleans is because I feel like when Drew comes back, it's going to light him up. And
do you think he will come back?
I think he'll come back. Oh, yeah.
Well, I know he wants to come back, but
the guy pretty much fractured his body.
Yeah, they're going to put some, they're going to put some specially made pad on him. Yeah. And he's going to go out for sure. He's making enough money for the franchise. They're going to build that, that whole suit of armor for him to get out there. And, but they're going to ride Kamara all the way there. But I think Pittsburgh, that's the team to beat. I think that's the team. I if they can get past KC, even though KC has no defense right now. But I just can't bet against Mahomes, man. I can't. I want to, but I can't because he's incredible and he just keeps pulling it out of his ass every week. Yeah, because I saw your comments earlier and I was like, man, I was thinking the same thing. Like, it seems like they're in a lull, but they just keep pulling it out.
9-1. I was like 5-0 away. I was like, wow, when did this happen? But it's incredible.
Yeah, like the worst 9-1 team I've ever seen. But, but I wouldn't bet on them. I think whoever's going to win that game between Pittsburgh and KC is going to win the Super Bowl. In my opinion.
Yeah. There you go, everybody. There's a prediction. So me, as far as Pittsburgh goes, I think Mike Tomlin is the best coach in the NFL who's completely underrated, who is not given his due. That guy is a winner. I wish he would coach the Jets, in my opinion, but that guy is incredible. Right now, I gotta say, I don't know. If I had to take a guess, I still, for some reason, don't want to fall asleep on Tennessee either, because I think if they get in the playoffs with Derrick Henry, it's cold, running the ball, they have a shot. Vrabel's a hell of a coach in the playoffs. But I think right now, I'm still going to go Mahomes and the Chiefs. They'll find a way to pull it out just because the guy's incredible. And in the NFC, I don't know. I see either Tampa's going through a bit of a rut right now, but I like Seattle as well, but their defense is kind of iffy. So, but the Rams could be good as well. So, I mean, if I had to make a choice right now, I think it's Chiefs and Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I just don't. I mean, as much as I love the Packers, I don't know, man. I mean, I think they have these moments where they have these games that are like, what happened here?
they're too inconsistent. Yeah, that was one of those things too. You know, it's they're just too inconsistent, and that's why I was like, when it came to figuring out an NFC team, I was like, it really doesn't matter. Like whoever, you know, all the teams really, the AFC is kind of stacked.
Yeah.
Whoever's going to win the AFC come out is going to, you know, win the Super Bowl in my opinion for sure. Whoever it is. So I don't think the AFC is really very good this year.
Yeah. So nobody thinks the NFC East is going to make it to the Super Bowl, huh?
I'll have to go with no.
The Washington football team is gonna make it to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Reggie, just a final one for me. So you were able to walk away from the game healthy, no injuries, no nothing, no residual effects, anything like that. You're okay?
Compared to some guys, yes.
Okay, it's good to hear.
I did play linebacker, and I did play very violent. So basically, like my whole left side of my body is like a train wreck. The right side's pretty solid. But the left side, you know, I don't know. And it's crazy because I hit with my right side mostly, but my left side apparently took all the, you know, blunt from it. So, but I would say I'm good. I got some in the elbow, but I actually got out in relatively good shape. I wanted to play 6 years. When it got to after that 6th year, I was like, you know, I'm good. I walked away on my own.
Good.
I definitely didn't want to play like 10, 15 years because at that point I'm like, dude, I don't want my kids taking care of me at that point. So, I got my fill of it, you know, and dipped.
Yeah. Well, Reggie, thank you very much for coming on. You know, we had a blast. You know, congratulations again on the new baby on the way. And, you know, have a happy, safe, healthy Thanksgiving this week to you and your family.
Oh, you guys too. And hopefully the Jets, you know, pull it out in like 5-6 years.
Hey, was Gase on the team when you were in 15? Was Gase? Oh, good. Thank God. Yeah.
No.
That's why he retired. He's like, nah.
No, but you know, you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Hey, and Reggie, anytime you want to come on, man, you have a home here. So please feel free to come on anytime.
Awesome. Just reach out. I'll come back on. Just let me know.
Awesome. Sounds good.
All right. Have a good night.
Good night, Reggie. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.
Peace.
Yeah. Man, that is a great guy. Awesome guy, man.
Yeah. Great guy. Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you for coming on, Reggie. Oh, man. This got a lot to talk about.
Yeah. And let's go. That portion of the show was brought to you by playthefielddating.com. Go to playthefielddating.com to find your MVP, start a softball league, join a sports community, bond together. Go to playthefielddating.com and again, find your MVP.
Unite, everybody. Unite.
Yes. Leave that division stuff alone and unite through sports. Go to playthefielddating.com, please.
Listen, it's like the Indians and the Pilgrims going to have a meal together, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's what Thursday's all about. That's why they play sports on Thanksgiving.
Yes,
so it's all about the unity and coming together.
Yes.
So yeah, it's no surprise that there's football all day on Thanksgiving Day. Yes. All right, so should we? You know, we'll start on those Thanksgiving games in a second, but let's talk about Tom Brady.
Yeah, let's get into that a little bit because I gotta say, man,
Tom Brady is starting to look more and more like Kirk Cousins. He cannot win a game and looks horrendous at prime time.
Wow, that is a big time comment right there. You just called him Kirk Cousins 2.0.
Well, I'm sorry. Kirk Cousins is better this year.
Wow. All right. Jesus. You know when you're Tom Brady and you're the GOAT and yet you're falling behind Kirk Cousins? That's pretty bad. That is pretty bad.
Well, I mean, Kirk Cousins, to my benefit, Kirk Cousins lost this past week. And
Yeah, well, obviously
I had
pool.
Yeah. I mean,
but let's get into that a little bit about Tom, because Tom has become, and he's getting called out today, and rightfully so, right? Because when he wins big games and he has big moments, he shakes people's hands, he's over. But when he loses these games lately, like, he doesn't show good sportsmanship. And Shannon Sharp on FS1 was undisputed with Skip Bayless. He called him out today. He said it's bullshit, and he's right. Dude, you're not going to win all the time. Like, you're Tom Brady. You're the face of the league, 6-time Super Bowl champion. Like, bro, walk across the field and shake the guy's hand. They won the game. But he just walks off the field, like, shows no respect towards these other quarterbacks when he loses. And it's just like, it's not right. It's sort of petty, Like, dude, like, I mean, come on, man. Like, you're 40, you're going to be 43 years old.
Let's
show
COVID.
The guy some,
it's COVID. He's trying to
stay
stay
away
from everybody.
Yeah, he's trying to stay away from that. Yeah, social distancing, whatever. Show some respect. Show some
he
class.
wants to stay away from everybody, yet he's living with Antonio Brown.
Exactly. I mean, but it's wrong. But also, Brady's been. I mean, he looks tired, man. Right? Like, he looks like he's just a little worn down.
Yeah.
Like, and that, I think part of it's the age. I think part of it's learning a new offense. But he just doesn't look good lately. And I don't know, man. I mean, regardless of, like, the star power they have on that team, I don't know if he's going to get into a Super Bowl.
He's got the best weapons he's had in a while.
Yeah. I
mean, you can't deny that. And,
no, not at all.
It's just the primetime. Obviously, they showed up against Carolina a couple of weeks ago after that horrendous game against the Saints, and then they had this, and now Patrick Mahomes is going to come in. Like, I mean, let's see how that one plays out. Is that a primetime game? Is that a Sunday night? No, they just played Sunday night, the Chiefs.
No, I'll tell you right now, that game is a 4:25 game, America's game of the week, 4:25 on CBS. I mean, look, and that's at home.
Yeah, Tampa Bay's at home. Yeah.
Tampa Bay's at home. It's gonna be good for the Chiefs to get some warm weather. Kelsey, Tyreek Hill running, Clyde Edwards-Helaire all over the place. The question is, can their defense hold up in that game? But again, man, I mean,
their run defense is good, so I think Edwards-Helaire will be kept down a little bit. Le'Veon Bell scored a touchdown this past week.
Yeah, hey, they know how to use it. Listen, Tampa Bay 7-4, and it's like an unimpressive 7-4, right?
Yeah, it's a surprising 7-4 considering, like, how many interceptions has Tom Brady thrown? I mean,
he's got. I think he's how many? What's his stats this year?
He's almost got as many interceptions as Winston would have, and Winston would probably have 5 or 6 more touchdowns than him.
Yeah, and their schedule. They're playing the NFC Central, so they got Minnesota, Atlanta, Detroit, and then Atlanta coming up. So after Kansas City, so they might be able to sort of get on a run here and get some confidence back. But I don't know, man. They might go 10-6.
What did we have them at?
I think we had them at 12-4.
We did have winning that division easily, right?
Yeah. I mean, we had them beating we had beaten the Saints. I think we had the Saints going 11-5, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But so again,
long
man,
ago now.
Yeah. So
those previews.
Yeah. But we'll wait and see. But it's going to be interesting down the stretch if Bruce Arians can sort of, right the ship here and get these guys on the right path and land the plane here and get them home to the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, speaking of old, speaking of tired, speaking of people that should just get special privileges as Tom Brady has been used to, this weekend, before Sunday's football games, and right smack in between Thanksgiving and Sunday football, Mr. Iron Mike Tyson, in an exhibition matchup against Roy Jones Jr. This weekend on is it pay-per-view and also on Triller? Am I right? They're going to have it on Triller. All right. So I got to look into the Triller thing, but so they announced the rules today, or was it yesterday? I just read them today. but nobody's allowed to intentionally try to knock anybody out.
Right.
There will not be judges. And if there is one cut and if somebody starts bleeding, the match is over. No betting allowed on the game, obviously, other than
On the fight.
Gentlemen's bets, but not Vegas. But I mean, is the hype really worth it anymore?
Look, I mean, listen, Mike Tyson is an icon. I mean, you hear the name Mike Tyson. I mean, people just like it's a different vibe when it comes to him. You know, baddest man on the planet. You know, youngest heavyweight champion of all time. I think the buzz is going to be there because people can't get enough of Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
I mean, if you go back to his YouTube videos, I watch him all the time.
But how do you like? You know, you can't even go like, oh, who do you think's going to win? And you know, have a because.
I mean, we can do that.
How do you know? But how do we know there's even going to be a winner?
Oh, I think we're going to know.
There's no judges' cards.
Yeah,
and
I think we're going to know.
The only way you could have a clear winner is by knockout, which they're not supposed to do. So is it kind of like a WWE match where if you do something you're not supposed to and you're disqualified, so the winner is the guy that got hit with the foreign object, or the one that got knocked out ends up being the winner? Like, how do you judge this?
I think somebody's getting knocked out, and I think it's gonna be Roy Jones. To be honest with you, look, these guys are two competitors. I don't know how these people think that they're gonna get into the ring and not compete. Like, you think Mike Tyson?
Right? You could definitely go around and say it. I agree with you.
Yeah,
they're gonna sit there and maybe even amongst themselves they're gonna say, yeah. We get it. You know, I'm definitely not going to try and knock you out. Yeah, I'm definitely not going to try and knock you out. And once that bell rings, though, you know they were thinking about knocking him out. So they're gonna go hard.
Here's the other thing: if it wasn't like serious or whatever,
but if there's a cut though,
they're gonna stop. So what if Tyson
stopping the fight?
I mean, these guys have been hit before.
So I mean, a knockout without one cut.
Here's the thing.
One.
I mean, could you imagine, right? If there's a cut in like 2 minutes of the first round, that they're actually going to stop it. I mean, people would be highly upset. I mean, the California Athletic Commission would be just like ripped to shreds. I think they're going to play this by ear. I don't think they're going to stop it right away.
By ear.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, literally. They're going to play it by ear.
If ears fall off, they're stopping it. I'm telling you right now.
If ears get bitten off, it's going to get ugly. But no, look, I think these guys are going to compete. They're going to fight. I think Roy Jones has taken some, but over his career, Roy Jones has had some rough knockouts, man. I mean, Antonio Tarver, he got knocked out a couple of times into some bad knockouts. And with Tyson's punching power, I mean, I'm sure you've seen the videos of him training.
Yeah.
I mean, my God, if he catches him square in the chin, I mean, who knows what's going to happen. So, but I think these guys are going to compete. They're going to be competitive. They're going to fight. And I just think people want to see it because they want to see if Mike Tyson looks good here, they want to sort of build that up to see if he can go in against a Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, which I don't think he can. But like, people just want to go back to that nostalgia and see the guy fight, and because he's such an iconic name. But no, I think it's going to be Tyson. Tyson's going to win this fight. And if it wasn't serious, I wouldn't have drug testing. I just saw that they both got drug tested and they both passed. So I think we're good to go. But that would suck, right? Like, if there's a cut in like the first 30 seconds of the fight, they have to stop it. That'd be awful.
Yeah, that would be like, I don't know. Like, it's just, and like, I saw the video of Dana White, like, first finding out about the rules, and he was like cracking up. It's like, wait, no knockouts? No betting? Like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, exactly. Now, what about this? On the undercard of this, you have Jake Paul, the YouTuber, against Nate Robinson, the former basketball player. That's going to be interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
You know, and here's the other question. You think people are going to buy it? I'm going to get it. I need to look into this Triller thing. Okay.
I need to look into what they're doing on Triller. And by the way, if Matt is watching right now, please fill us in here.
Matt.
Tech Time Machine is partnering on this. Please explain this to us, please.
Yeah, and if the Book It Sports guys are watching, can you tell us why there's not a wager on this? Like, can somebody clarify this for us?
Is there a Book It non-official wager going?
Yeah. Is there a
Tell
Book
us.
It? Yeah, Liv Moody,
Olivia, if you're watching, Trent, David.
Fill us in here. People want to know.
Yeah, well, we definitely speaking of betting, shall we get to
The picks.
let's go to the Thanksgiving Day games.
Here we go.
Let's start
on the start of a week 12 in the National
week
Football
12 in the National Football League. Is this the last week of buys? Am I right?
League. Is it? Not sure. Couldn't tell
I think
you.
it is.
Yeah.
I think it is. All right. So it starts off Houston at Detroit.
Hold on. Let me get my Book It app here.
Yep, I got it open here. So
Let me get my Book It app here. What the hell? Hold on. Let me get to week 12 here. Okay. Let me go to my Book It app here.
well, we got Houston at Detroit. Houston's favored by 3.
Houston at Detroit. Houston's favored by 3. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if Houston wins that game. I don't like the way Detroit's playing. I think Matt Patricia's on his way out.
There are 16 games and no buys this week. Thank you, Facebook user.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. See, I have to pick a team for my survivor this week, and I'm considering Houston.
Okay.
But I feel like Houston can have this letdown game, and just, it's in Detroit, and I know that they just beat the Patriots, and Detroit got absolutely embarrassed this week. I will take Houston with the spread, but I'm not betting the house on it.
I'm with you on that one. I think, look, I don't like the way Detroit's playing. Matt Patricia's on his way out. He's not going to be there. I don't think they want to play for him, to be honest with you. And it's, you got Deshaun Watson back there, man. And that guy's incredible. Mm-hmm. And so I'm with you. Houston -3 to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Game number 2. The Washington football team on the road at Jerry's house to face the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys are favored at -3. Mike, take it away.
I'm gonna be eating during this game. You're
doing a sort of mid-afternoon lunch, Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, they start at 4:30. Like that's, that's about the time you eat. But
okay,
I'm not gonna I'm definitely not gonna have to run back and forth to the TV.
Got it. Okay.
During this game, I'd be like, oh, okay, it's
all right.
Dallas and Washington. But thank you, Dallas, for knocking out the Vikings this past week. So I appreciate.
Oh yes.
For
those of you who don't know, Mike is in the
Washington. Fuck you for knocking out Joe Burrow.
So for those of you, Mike is in the survivor pool, and we're getting close. Like we got 6 weeks left.
First time ever.
And we're almost home. We're trying to land the plane here, so it's good. We're gonna keep you up to date as this goes, as this thing gets close. I hope I didn't jinx it, but I think we're in a good place. Anyway, Mike, Washington. Dallas -3 against Washington at home. What do you got?
Andy Dalton looked competent last week. But Washington obviously, played well after Joe Burrow got knocked out. They have a good defense.
Yep.
But Jerry's World, Thanksgiving Day, it's too much history there, and with Dallas just pretty much owning that day.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I feel comfortable with the 3. But I mean, it definitely beats anything higher than 3. So
okay,
I'd rather take the money line if I had to choose.
Right.
So I'll go with the money line on Dallas, because it could go either way with the spread.
So here's the way I look at this. Mike McCarthy needs to win this game. This is his first Thanksgiving game. I don't care who's behind
for almost, what is it, for first place or?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and so he needs to win this game. I don't care how they pull it out. I don't care what they do. Look, they're 3-7. They're a game behind. God, that's awful. They're 3-7. They're a game behind the Eagles, who are just like Carson Wentz is a mess. That thing is falling apart over there. They got a chance to. I mean, look, you got 3 teams that are 1 game behind. I think Dallas needs to win this game. It's going to be competitive. It's going to be big. I'm going with Mike McCarthy. I'm going with the Cowboys in Jerry's world. -3 to cover on this one. They got to me, it's a must win. It's Thanksgiving, prime time. You got to win this game. I'm going Dallas -3.
With the spread. Okay.
With the spread. Yep.
All right. Nighttime game. Baltimore visits Pittsburgh. What are they, 9-0 or 10-0? Pittsburgh 10-0.
The 10-0 Pittsburgh Steelers.
The Steelers are favored by 4.5. I smell upset. Baltimore Ravens will win this game. That's all I'm saying.
So here's the thing. I love Pittsburgh's defense. You know, I've been saying it all year. Mike Tomlin, best coach out there. Pittsburgh gets a lead against this defense. I would take the money line on this. I think Vegas is begging you to take. Just to me, Vegas is begging you to take the 4.5 with Baltimore. However, I think Pittsburgh is going to win this game. I think it'll be close. It'll be a field goal. But I'm taking Pittsburgh. I'm taking Pittsburgh money line, but I'm taking Pittsburgh to win this game. That defense is so good, and if they get behind, I just don't see how Lamar Jackson brings back the Baltimore Ravens. I really don't. And after losing to Tennessee last week, I think there's a bit of a sort of like, psyche issue over there with beating these tough teams. So I'm taking Pittsburgh. I would bet the money line, but I got Pittsburgh.
Okay.
So there are picks for Thanksgiving Day. We're taking Houston -3. I'm taking Dallas. Mike is taking, who you taking? Washington? Did you say Washington? Mike?
No, I'm taking the money line on Dallas.
Money line Dallas, and then I'm taking money line Pittsburgh, and he's calling the upset. And
I'm taking the +4.5.
You're taking the +4.
+4.5.
There you go.
And I am booking it.
And we're booking it on Book It. Let's book it on Book It.
All right. If anyone wants to follow us on Book It, my username is Playing the Field.
Okay.
So search for me and Rick. By all means, you could share yours.
And
my record is not doing so good. I'm 2-7.
I have to check my record.
Mine is
Molina RE1977. I'm 3-1 actually in Book It. Look at that.
Yeah. You got your Broncos there.
Oh, I told her. For those of you who watched last week's show, we had Liv Moody on Friday, and I told her, look, I love the Broncos. Miami's going in there.
She got you on the Colts, though.
She got me on the Colts, but that game went to overtime. I mean, that was a field goal, But yeah. All right, and then to Sunday's game for the locals. Let's go back. We're gonna pick Sunday's game because we're not gonna be obviously on Thursday. We're gonna be eating some grub.
Yeah.
That's the 29th, right? Sunday the 29th? Yeah.
Yep.
So we have Giants at Cincinnati, 1:00 game. Giants are favored -5.5. Joe Burrow obviously blew out his knee and everything in it. And Cincinnati, I think, is who's starting in that game for the
Ryan Finley.
Yeah. That's an easy one. Giants -5.5. I'll take the Giants to win that game and cover.
Yeah, I am with you. I like the Giants. They're coming off a bye. They were playing good football going into it. And obviously, if Joe Burrow was playing,
I'd take the Bengals.
I mean, obviously, the spread would be a lot different. It would probably be, Bengals favored.
Yeah, that's all I'm with you.
Or being a pick 'em. But I think it would have been close on that game too, because the Bengals defense is just not good.
Yeah.
And
then the other game we have Miami, the high flying Miami Dolphins heading to MetLife to face our beloved New York Jets and Adam Gase and the dead man walking syndrome theme over there. -6.5 at MetLife.
Miami's coming off of a loss. Are the Jets coming off of a loss? Did they lose? Did they win last week?
Yeah. No.
Oh,
they're 0-10, and they've
been there, done that. They know how to play games off of loss.
Yeah. But look, Miami, they pulled Tua.
6.5. That's
he
was hurt, and I don't think he's out.
No, they
think
pulled him because they didn't want him to get hurt.
They didn't rush him back. Yes,
Okay.
he was banged up a little bit, and there was no reason for the immediate, rushing him back in the mile high weather, and it's just, they just threw Fitzpatrick in there to clean up. They didn't think they had a shot, and obviously Fitzpatrick almost did come back, and
So
they threw one in the end zone there.
So
right
you're
at the
taking
end.
Miami with 6.5?
I mean, 6.5 is. I think they're begging you to take Miami.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you on that one. They're begging you to take that. That's a crazy line,
yes,
especially the way the Jets have been playing.
The Jets do play the fish tough. Yes, they do.
Thank you, Facebook user.
They are begging you to take Miami.
And Miami's defense is good.
I'm going to take the Jets. Plus
I'm with you.
I'm taking
Jets with the 6.5.
It's going to be a field goal type of game or a 4-point game.
Yeah. Good look. And here's the thing. Perryman's starting to play better. We don't know if Darnold's going to start, right? But if Flacco's in there, you can guarantee there's going to be a pick thrown in there because he looks like he's just asleep. But Crowder, Perryman,
against the best scoring defense in the NFL, yeah.
Right.
There's going to be a pick.
There's going to be a pick.
There's going to be a pick, maybe even a pick six.
And so, but the Jets have been scoring some points. They put 28 points up last week, or 26, not counting that safety. The week before, they put up, 30 points against the Patriots? So they've lately have been putting up some points. But I'm with you. Miami's going to win that. It's going to be a field goal, but they won't cover that 6.5.
Yeah. I would like to touch on the other New York team playing this weekend.
Oh, that's right. Forgot about that one.
So the Los Angeles Chargers and the rookie of the year frontrunner, Justin Herbert, are coming to Orchard Park, Western New York, to face the Buffalo Bills. The Bills are favored by 5.5. The Bills are the better team, but they're coming off of a bye. But I don't feel uber confident about the Bills winning this game. I'm going to take because the Chargers, and I think Herbert is hitting his stride. Yeah. And the Bills defense is not super impressive. They did go into Chargers did go into New England, mind you, a few not too long ago, and they put up some good points over there too.
Yeah.
I think Los Angeles Chargers cover the 5.5 and quite possibly might be able to win this game.
No, their coaching sucks. They're not winning this game.
Yeah.
If they had better coaching, they would win this game. I like Keenan Allen. I love, obviously, Justin Herbert, what they got going on over there.
Buffalo Bills can't stop the run.
Right. But their defense, Tre'Davious White, their secondary is pretty good. I don't know that.
But remember, they went into that bye with that DeAndre Hopkins catch.
Right. But, look, that was a Hail Mary. God.
Come on.
Here's the other thing. Justin Herbert is not Kyler Murray. He's not going to be running around all over the place.
I'm saying, it's not like they went into the bye on the best of circumstances.
Understood.
Mentally.
I like I'm with you on this in the sense of
the 5.5.
The 5.5. So I don't think they're going to win the game, but they'll take the 5.5 points.
Well, all that matters when you're making the bet is the plus 5.5.
Yeah, I take the Chargers plus 5.5 easy.
Yeah, I don't know. I just got some sneaky feeling that the Herbert can eke this one out.
Yeah, the over under is 54. I think I take the over on that too, but
I would take the over on that.
Yeah.
I'd take the under in the Giants-Cincinnati game.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even want to touch the Dolphins and Jets. I wouldn't even bet that game. And we're just picking it because it's
local.
It's a local game.
Yeah.
Honestly, the least exposure I have to the Jets, the better.
Exactly.
Makes my life a little bit easier.
Yeah.
To not even have to worry about the Jets just end the season.
Yeah. Well, there you go, folks.
What do we got? Hall of Fame?
Oh, quickly, the Hall of Fame. The finalists have come out for the Hall of Fame. Let's go over that real quick.
Well, we were talking about Peyton Manning before, and he is one of the names there.
Megatron, Calvin Johnson is also one of them.
Megatron, I'm sure they're going to talk about it a lot during
Charles Woodson,
the first game on Thanksgiving.
Yeah, Charles Woodson. Is one of the lead finalists. Richard Seymour. You know, who else?
Fred Taylor, Hines Ward, Reggie Wayne,
Cornelius Bennett, Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Alan Faneca, Rodney Harrison,
Rondé Barber too.
Wow, Fred Taylor, Reggie Wayne, Hines Ward, wide receiver coach for the Jets.
Did we say Torrey Holt?
Torrey Holt's there,
yeah.
Patrick Willis, Darren Woodson,
Charles Woodson too.
Yeah, Bryant Young, John Lynch, Clay Matthews Jr., Sam Mills, the great Sam Mills, man. He used to play for the Saints. This guy was 5'7". He was an animal, bro. He was all over the place.
Yeah, it's a lot of big names.
A lot of big names. Look, Peyton's going to get in. I think Megatron's going to get in.
Yeah. I mean, did he? Torrey Holt's got to get in.
You think so?
Yeah.
Cornelius Bennett got to get in. He was on that Buffalo Bills team that went to 4 Super Bowls. He was a stud next to Bruce Smith out there.
Reggie Wayne's got to get in, right?
I don't know. You see Reggie Wayne as a Hall of Fame wide receiver? I don't. I don't. Hines Ward. Do you see Hines Ward as a Hall of Fame wide receiver? Steve Tasker's got to get in. He was on that team too, man.
Well, last year I would have said, maybe Hines Ward is a Hall of Fame wide receiver, but he's been the Jets wide receiver coach, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say no anymore. Not anymore.
Yeah. No, I think Manning's going to get in. He's the first ballot. I think Woodson's going to get in. Megatron.
Peyton Manning,
I think those 3.
Peyton Manning has to get in. He gave Adam Gase like 10 years worth of jobs in the NFL.
That guy made made a lot of people. Yeah.
Because of how good Peyton Manning is, apparently Adam Gase was worth 10 years worth of horrible coaching.
He made Adam Gase a millionaire, that guy.
Millionaire.
I mean, seriously.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. I mean, thank you,
Did you see what Frank Gore said, though?
That he can't go out like that, 0-16?
He cannot have an 0-16 record on his resume.
Frank, you know what? I'm sorry. But Trevor Lawrence is out there. I love you to death. You came to the Jets. But no, you need to go 0-16 because we need Trevor Lawrence. It's about the future. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's how I feel.
A long episode. But this is the only one this week.
This is the only one of the week, folks.
So we had to compensate for that.
Yeah.
So obviously Thursday night is Thanksgiving night. We will not be here. We will be enjoying some football and turkey.
And safely with our families.
Safely with our families, correct. And it was a pleasure to be here tonight and enjoy your holiday. Please have a happy, safe, and healthy holiday this Thursday. Enjoy a lot of football Thursday. Enjoy Tyson Jones, the whatever you want to call it. I don't know if you can call it a fight. Where's the bigger fight going to come from? Is it going to come from the family tables, or it's going to come from? We'll be all good then on. Yeah. We'll be all good on Thursday.
But to all our viewers and everybody who listens on the podcast, Apple, happy Thanksgiving. Please be safe. Make sure you distance and try not to, keep it, as safe as you can, and enjoy these time with your families, and just, look back on the year and sort of give thanks to kind of where we are at this point. I mean, as unfortunate as the situation is, the fact that you can spend a few days or a few hours with your family is great. And then watch the games, and then get ready next week for episodes 39 and 40 of the Fan Experience podcast. And we look forward to, talking to you all again next week. Oh, and go to playthefielddating.com and find your MVP. Don't forget to do that.
Yes. And also look at the silver lining for Thursday. You know, if you want to go and watch the football game, you grab your food and say, sorry, guys, I got to go socially distant.
Yeah.
You go over to
that is
the
the
living
perfect,
room.
well said, Mike. Perfect way to socially distance. Grab your plate, go on the couch, everybody else get away from it.
There you go.
There you
We're
go.
good.
Happy gobble gobble, everybody.
You're welcome for the
public service
tip.
announcement.
Yeah, the public service announcement. You're welcome. For anyone who stayed up this late to listen to me, well, then there you go. Enjoy. All right, have a good night, everybody.
We'll see you next week.